Number 40 looks really, really scary. Usually when they have two triangles like this, they want you to do like law of cosines twice or something like that. But if I read it carefully, it's actually a pretty easy problem. It says AB is 740. So this is 740. Let me label it. I'm pushing random buttons now. 740. And then it wants us to find this angle. One thing I do notice is that it needs to be in radian mode. So I'm going to make sure my calculator, when I click on mode, I'm going to make sure that it is in fact in radian mode. Okay, so how do we do this problem? The way I would do this is I would do law of sines first to find this angle right here, because I have a complete set of opposites and then I have another set of opposites with only one unknown. So the law of sines, in case you can't remember, is it's sine of an angle, I'll call it A, it doesn't really matter what the letter is, divided by its opposite side is proportional always to sine of another angle divided by that angle's opposite side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write sine of 0.866, again you don't need the zeros in front of the decimals, divided by its opposite side of 740. I'm going to set it equal to sine of, I'm just going to call it x because I don't know what it is, over its opposite side of 953. So if I want to solve this problem, the opposite of dividing is multiplying. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 953. And again, you're writing this really small. I know I'm writing it really big. And then this right here is going to be a decimal that equals sine of x. So you can type that in. I like to alpha y equals my busy fractions. So 953, oops, I'm typing in stuff. 953 times sine of 0.866 over 740. You could have closed off that 0.866. It's fine. And then if I want to solve for x, I need to do the inverse sine. So whenever you're solving for an angle, you do the inverse sine. So second sine, I'm going to arrow up. And if you want to, you could arrow up and just grab that whole thing that you typed in, just in case your memory on your calculator is running low, so it doesn't round it too early. And so that is this angle right here, this angle above. Now, it doesn't want that angle. It wants the one right next to it. And hopefully you remember from back in the day, hopefully you remember that we have a straight line, and the measure of a straight line is always 180 degrees. Well, 180 degrees in radians is the same thing as pi radians. In case you forget that, you tend to remember 360 degrees is the same thing as 2 pi, so just divide them both by 2. So when you have a straight line, you'd say this angle plus this angle add up to 180. So I'm going to say the 1.38 plus IDK equals pi. So I'm going to subtract my answer from pi. So I'm going to go pi minus arrow up. And if you really want to, you can arrow up and just grab that whole thing in case you're afraid of the rounding errors. So it's going to be 1.77. Now you don't have to do the times 10 to the 0 on paper, but for my Canvas course, you do need to fill in the exponent. Okay, hope that helped explain everything. Well, I'm just going to, for grins, I'm going to see what happens if I just did minus my answer. I wonder how the rounding, okay, so it's okay, the rounding, it lost like to the hundredths. Remember, you can be plus or minus 1 on the hundredths place. So this answer could have been 1.76 or 1.78 times 10 to the 0. Okay, the end.